Welcome to the Improv Summit. As always, I'm your host, Spencer, from a different location today, which is why my background is all wonkadoodle, but that's okay. With me today, I have a wonderful guest, a brilliant guest, I shall say, brilliant Brian. Brian, how's it going?
It's going pretty well over here. How's it going with you?
It's good. I was trying to do like the double word, like the improv game where you're like, I'm
Right.
super
Should we throw an
Spencer.
action in there? Brilliant, Brian.
Brilliant, Brian. Yeah, there it is. Oh, see, my hand disappeared because it's not my usual space, so my lighting setup's not the same. Anyway, enough about me. Everyone knows about me. Let's jump right in and talk about you, shall we?
Sure.
Let's talk first about your improv experience. Whatever that means to you, what is your improv experience?
Yeah, I have a very untraditional improv experience, or teaching rather. So I've been in Asia, or was in Asia, to the pandemic for about 5 years, and
Oh, wow.
I was teaching English initially in Vietnam. And there's a small improv group there, and they get a lot of traveling improvisers that'll come and do workshops. And I was like, hey, this was what, 6 years ago. And I was like, that would be fun. I've never tried improv before. Let's see what this improv's about. And they had a teacher that was there from Israel, named Liam. And he was teaching short form style improv, a lot of concepts from like UCB. And I was like, let's do a class. Why not? And so I took a class with him. He was there for about 6 months, and we just did a ton of shows, and I learned a lot from him. And that's kind of how I got introduced in the improv world, was from an Israeli guy living in Vietnam.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's definitely untraditional in a sense, but that's what I love about improv and about the show is that there's no like one way to do improv. There's no
Sure.
one way to perform it. There's no one way to teach it. There's no one way to like learn about it. So that's really exciting, especially overseas improv because improv does exist worldwide. People don't realize it does, but it does exist like literally everywhere. Everyone improvises all the time, but you can actually
Yeah.
take classes from anywhere. And especially now with the pandemic, you have access to improv from all over the world that you might not otherwise have on location.
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting. Hanoi is a very unique place. And shout out to Haha Comedy if anyone there is watching, or go to Hanoi at some point. Check them out. It used to be the Rotten Grapes, now it's Haha Comedy. But you
Mm,
actually have three improv groups there. So you have the Vietnamese improv group, you have the English speaking improv group, and then you have a French speaking improv group. There's a lot of French people that live there,
oh,
and they
wow.
have their own team. And sometimes everyone will mingle with each other and perform in English or vice versa. But yeah, it's a really unique space. And the scene's growing. They've got Saigon's got their own improv scene going on, which is in the South. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to jump into you kind of touched on how cool improv is. What do you love about improv? Like what makes you like want to keep teaching it, want to keep doing it, want to keep learning it? What for you do you love about improv?
Um, Probably two things. I think it's the sense of play.
Hmm,
You can take someone. I honestly believe that anyone can learn improv. Like you don't have to be an actor. Like literally anyone can learn it. And you
agreed.
get a lot of people, especially in my classes I teach, who are like super shy or timid people. And you see over the weeks that they start opening up and using their introvertness, if you will, to kind of help the scene grow and develop. And I think there's a sense of play that you get with improv where you can really just be silly. Like you'll have
Mm,
someone, they can be a CEO of a company, and you can have someone who's a janitor, but if they're doing improv scenes together, then that sense of like power and roles, they'll be switching constantly. And I think it builds a sense of like team building with each other, especially when you do like corporate improv. It helps people get to know each other on a different
sure.
basis, right? And it's the sense of play and the community aspect. There's just something about like doing a show with everyone, whether it's a good show or a bad show, and then like going for beers after or catching up for food after, talking about what worked, what didn't work, your favorite moments. There's that sense of community that improv creates, and it's you can go anywhere in the world, literally, especially today, and there's improv communities everywhere. The last 3 years I was in India, and I was acting there and teaching as well, and they've got a massive improv scene in India, and
Hmm.
it's really cool. It's that sense of wherever you go, you can kind of connect with people right off the bat and start doing something that you both love and enjoy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Which actually leads me into my segue, which is just me on a segue, because I never can think of an actual segue into another question. I'm like, that brings up a good point. And now this question is completely unrelated. Is this? But that being said, the unrelated question that I have now, it's a good segue because I said it was unrelated. So now it's related to the fact that it's unrelated. There are so many scenes that I've seen performed, taught, and 99.9% of the time, I can never remember after I do a scene what happened in the scene,
Mm.
because I'm making it up. Are there any scenes that you, as a performer, as a coach, as a director, as a teacher, as an audience member, have seen that you like will never forget because of something that was done in that scene that was so memorable to you or helped you learn improv, or some moment of improv that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, that's a good point. A
It's
lot of
always
times you
hard.
don't because you're so in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's what's coming to mind. So in Vietnam, I co-organized and performed for a TEDx event, TEDx Hanoi, and which was it was we're still all over where I was hosting it, I organized
Mm,
it, and then we also performed improv on it. And we did this scene where we pull things out of the bag. I'm sure you've seen some Whose Lines anyways. So we
yeah.
got random objects in there and we incorporated this scene. And it was like there was this massive like almost like a rubber square thing, and then a watering plant, and then it somehow turned into this whole scene about like hair rejuvenation, and like the one person was like the doctor, and we're all like the patients, and we're all very nervous about it. And I don't remember how it ended, but I just remember how it started,
Mm,
because it was just such a good use of all the objects that came about. That's one thing that stood out to me. um, I almost feel when the scenes and when you're performing the scenes and when they really stand out, it's almost not a good thing in a sense, because I feel like you're not so much in the moment if you're remembering every detail. Obviously, you'll remember like the arcs and a few of the funny moments, but if you're remembering every part of it, I feel like that's almost not a good thing. It's usually
mm.
like the beginning and the end you remember. In the middle, you're like, I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, probably that one, I'd say.
Yeah, that's awesome. In an ideal world, like in improv, we can kind of play any characters, any genders, any occupations, any inanimate objects, any animals, like whatever it is. Is there like a scene that you're like, I really want to do a scene with these characters, or is there a character or a character type or whatever that you always wanted to like play in an improv scene?
Hmm. In improv, no, I feel like I get to do a lot. You know, you can try things out. In the acting aspect of my life, yes, that's a whole different thing. But in improv, I don't know if there's one that I haven't done or really like to do. But what I love to do probably the most is when you're doing like genres, and like you do a scene as like film noir, then you come back and do it as a sci-fi, and do it as a western. I love doing those sort of scenes, because I just think it's so interesting to see how the same scene plays out and how that arc plays out. And that's a scene you have to remember what's going on for
Hmm.
the first time. Otherwise, it crashes. But yeah, I'd say that game is one I quite enjoy to do a lot.
Sure. Yeah,
What
that's
about
awesome.
you? I'm gonna throw the same question back at you. What is a
Uh-oh.
character that you would want to play that you haven't gotten a chance to do?
I literally wasn't planned for this, obviously, because it's improv. I think for me, I always want to find a way, or discover, I would say not find, because it feels forced if it's fine, but to discover a way to play inanimate objects, with some sense of groundedness. Like not
Mm.
like I'm a tree now in the background, but like this tree being like the tree on a journey to find his like roots, like literally, no
Oh,
or
okay.
pun intended, I guess,
Right.
like finding like the character being a character with like humanistic qualities, as opposed to it being like I'm a tree in the background for a laugh. It's like I'm a tree that wants to find my family. like like that would be
Sure.
fun to me, taking that, because I mean, I was gonna say I will never be a tree. I can't guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure I can, unless some sorcerer or whatever puts like a spell on me. But I don't plan on ever
Hey, this
becoming a
year
tree.
anything can happen.
That's true. That's true. We're all not safe. No. Who knows what's gonna happen to every one of us? No, but yeah. So I think that's what I would say is just like a grounded, inanimate object who has an actual arc in the storyline, which I think would be fun. You talked about arcs, and I think that
Yeah.
is something that would be fun for me. So that being said, real plug time for you. Do you have anything you want to plug or pitch or anything like that?
As of right now, I don't have anything. I was teaching when I was in India, but now that I'm back in LA, I'm kind of going back into student mode. So I'm just hoping for things to open up now. Growlings is supposed to be open up next month. UCB is supposed to be open up next month. So yeah, nothing, no plugins right now that I can think of. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. I do have one final question for you.
Sure.
So thanks for joining me here on the Improv Summit. And the reason why I'm asking this question because it's the question I always ask because it's the reason I'm doing the Improv Summit. I always have a lot of people who come up to me and say, "Oh, Spencer, you've seen a lot of improv. Where should I take improv?" And I'm always like, I mean, what do you want to get out of improv? I don't like I can't answer that
Sure.
question specifically. I have to kind of break down all the different schools or all the different types of improv and let people know like this is what it is. What do you feel fits you? But if someone came up to you and said, "Brian, you do improv. Where should I take improv?" What would be one piece of advice or one tip that you'd give to someone to help guide them on their improv journey?
Sure. I think, I mean, now not so much, but I think as things open up, the online is going to start dwindling down and in person will start growing again. So I think the first factor obviously is where you live and what's around you. I mean, if obviously if you're in a big city, New York, LA, Chicago, Toronto, you're going to have a lot of options. But let's say you're not. There's a lot of small community theaters that offer courses that are probably in your hometown that you might not even know exist. A quick Google search will help you find that. I think just whatever is available, look into those options, right? Because obviously, like you have the big names that people want to get there, and if you're not in those cities, you can't. But I'd say honestly, like start off with UCB or Growlings are great places to start off with. They're reputable. They have a whole history. There's going to be no right or wrong. It's like when someone asks, like, "Hey, what should I do if I come visit you in India, Brian?" I'm like, I can tell you what I like to do and like where I like to go, but that's not going to help you. I always return the
Mm-hmm.
question. I'm like, well, what are you looking for? And
Mm,
like, if you're looking just to learn a new skill, have some fun, I think any improv school will do that for you.
yeah.
So I don't think you should overthink it. I think you should just get started. Every program is going to usually have an intro or 101. Some of them offer free classes like the Magnet
Mm-hmm.
Theater. They do their free improv for beginners. So I think just get started. Don't be scared in terms of like, can I find the best? This isn't like a college degree, like, which school to go
Oh
to.
yeah.
They're all going to offer like what you're looking for. And I think the reason you're doing improv is probably to be more spontaneous, to have a sense of community, to learn a new skill, to be more open. You're going to get that, whether that's short form or long form. I think you're going to get that with most places. So I say just start. Just go for one near you and just start, do one of the classes, and take it from there.
That's great. I think that's really great, especially depending on what you're looking for. Like, are you looking to make a career out of improv, or are you looking to just like kill 2 hours on a Tuesday night? Like
Sure,
that.
exactly.
That's also great because that in that case you can kind of go based off of budget too. Like some of the well-known schools are going to be expensive, but
Mm.
some of the lesser known schools or some of the other schools are going to be a little bit cheaper. And if you're looking to just like have a good time, maybe go with something cheaper. They're all not respectful. They are respectful, but they're all respected, I guess. Well
Yes,
respected
yes, yes.
is what I guess I meant. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So I love that advice. But Brian, thanks so much for joining me here on the Improv Summit. Now, I did say that was the last question I had for you, but as always, I'm a big bold-faced liar, and I do have another question for you. You ready?
I'm ready.
The question is, we've been talking a lot about improv. You want to do some improv?
No, gotta go. Bye. Yes, let's do some improv.
All right, let's do it.
All right. It says for all your audience to send me $100 via PayPal. Well, that's a little strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's a new feature of the show.
oh, no. It says two in the ocean.
Two in the ocean. So we're gonna do improv casting. You're gonna cast us as characters that would be in this world, whatever characters you see fit.
Okay. Two in the ocean. Okay, so let's go with we are we're on a ship in the ocean, and the ship is just consists of us. We're trying to sail across the world, and yeah, you're let's go with you're the captain of the ship, and I am your steward. Is that what they call them?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's go with that. Is that good? Do you want any more? Is that good?
No, that's great. Let's do it. And then who do you want to initiate the scene?
You initiated last time, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll initiate this time then.
Great, let's do it.
All right. Wow, Captain, beautiful day here on the ship. Whew.
Yeah, Stewart, the steward, please make sure you keep my dogs at bay. They definitely are definitely needing some food, I think, maybe some water. Maybe then make sure the mail ship doesn't come, because then they'll just go a little wild. But great cleaning otherwise.
Thanks, Captain. Yeah, actually, I think the ship is coming today to give us some more supplies. So I'll lock the dogs up in the dungeon.
Excellent. We can't hear anything down there.
Perfect.
So we won't even know if they're staying down there. Did we ever take those people out of the dungeon that we kidnapped?
Yeah, I mean, I give them like 10 minutes of fresh air each day. That's enough, right? I think it is.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we let them go, if they're still down there.
Well, so you know how you really liked that prime rib I made you the other night?
Did you make it out of those people?
I may or may not have used an arm or two.
So, Stuart, what you're telling me is you're literally Sweeney Todd.
Well, you know, it was really hard getting the fish, and he was dying anyways, and I didn't want to waste him. You know, I'm very sustainable, and I know I'm a vegan, so it's a little weird, but like, it just made sense.
Yeah, I see. I see. Vengeance Vegan, and I guess Captain Cannibal here is going to be my new name, I guess, now, because you've had me eat people without telling me.
No, it was a one-time thing. He was very, very bad. He was causing so much trouble. He hit another prisoner. It's true.
The only other prisoner that we had?
Yeah, he hit him twice. Hey,
Well,
Captain, can you grab this rope for me? I just need to grab some sail.
It's not my job.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to figure it out. I had to learn the ranks when I was in your position, and then now that I'm Captain Cannibal of the ship, you can figure out how to do it. It takes 3 hands, but you only have 2, so you got to figure it out.
You know what, Captain? There's actually something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, what is it, Stuart?
Well, we've been on the ship now for what, like 22 months? Is it now?
Yeah, going on 23.
I was thinking that I do a really good job
No
at
raises.
my job, and I wanted to get promoted to captain.
Nope.
Well, I know you were saying you wanted to retire soon, and now would be a great time to retire and promote me.
Nope.
Captain, have you ever tried being a steward before? It's quite enjoyable.
Nope.
Wait, Captain, here, just put that. Yeah. Sick of your bullshit, Captain. Now you're tied up there. What was that? What was that?
I love the people meat. Get my dog.
You love my cooking?
Yes.
Captain, you should have told me that last time. I thought this whole time you hated my cooking and put me in a deep depression. And all I could think about was taking over your job. But you think I'm a great cook?
Yes, now please get me down.
Oh, of course, Captain. There you go.
Now off to the dungeon with you.
What? Hey!
Off to the dungeon.
No!
Go to the dungeon. Go to the dungeon.
No, I don't want to go to the dungeon. Ow!
No, it was the door. It was the door.
Yeah, you hit me with the door.
Yeah, now you're in there. So you have 2 options. Either one, you can think about what you did, and maybe one day I will let you out and you can be the steward that you always were destined to be. Or the second option, because you're such a great cook, you can provide me with a little sustenance.
Whoa, Captain, that was a one-time thing. I'm a vegan. I can't do it again.
I'm not talking about someone else. You have the option: your leg, your arm, your ear, or you can remain a prisoner.
Captain, these are really hard choices.
One of
I
those four. I've
guess.
given you four options.
Oh, there's a fourth. Okay, what's the fourth?
Remain a prisoner.
Is there a fifth?
Sure. You want a fifth option?
Yes.
Okay, the fifth option is so option one is the leg, option two is the arm, option three is the ear, option four is remain a prisoner forever, option five is to remain a prisoner and provide one of those items for me to feast upon.
Okay. I'll go with option 5.
Great. So you would like to remain a prisoner and give me one of your items to munch on. Which
Whoa! I
one?
thought option 5 was I get out and get promoted.
I did not give you that as an option.
Well, can I add that in?
Which option would it be?
We can make it option 2.
So option two would be that you can get promoted, but you still have to give me your arm.
Ah!
And scene. Thanks everybody so much for coming to the Improv Summit. That's Brian. I'm Spencer. See you next time. Bye.
See you guys later.